What's up, guys?
What's up?
Is Andy Wingate and
Davis Pack,
your RDU production directors. Happy to see you guys. This is our second time making this video. The first time our audio did not work, so shows how good we are at our jobs. But anyways, we are going to go over today the Talkback role, which takes place on none other than CG2, everybody's favorite CG.
Good old CG2.
So what we do in the Talkback role is very simple. We simply provide lyrics for the worship leader and or host, timers for the host to reference while they're on stage. So just so you know, CG2 is an extremely vital role because it literally provides the confidence that our worship leaders and hosts need to make a distraction-free experience. So it is as important as
confidence monitor.
Check it out.
Confidence.
Oh,
man.
dang.
Production jokes.
Almost on purpose. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and go through a couple key operations for CG2. And if you stuck around in this video for this long, thank you. I appreciate you. So anyways, what you can see here is our big, bold yellow lyrics that we're going to show on the back screen. So generally, whenever we're operating CG2, we want to keep to the mindset of we want to be ahead of the worship leader. So for example, whenever we're on echo right here, when the worship leader is singing, "When Night Has Fallen," we want to already be ahead on "When Fear Is Common." And then let's go down to a couple longer slides down here, such as "When My Mind Says I'm Not Good Enough." Whenever we generally want to keep it to about half a slide ahead. So, for example, whenever the worship leader sings "When My Mind Says," we want to go ahead and head over to the next slide. That way they can anticipate the lyrics that are coming next. And so Davis, actually right here, has gone ahead and prepared a demo song. And so we can actually show you what this Talkback role looks like in action.
Sweet. You want to hit that clear all and let's start this from scratch?
You know what? Let's hit that clear all and start this from scratch.
All right, here we go. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
It just changed on us.
Oh, no.
Wow, that's incredible.
Don't worry, we're pros.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Here we go. I failed. Notice I skipped the black slide.
When faith is lost, my hope exhausted. You will be my strength. When my mind says I'm not good enough, God, you're enough for me.
There we go. So as you can see, I was kind of staying ahead of those lyrics, generally about half a slide. And so you'll notice that, as I said before, I skipped over these black slides. Whenever it's blank, we're not helping anybody by showing them that there's nothing coming up. In fact, we're making it worse. So we want to go ahead and skip over the blank slides to the next lyric. Even if it's a bar, 2 bar, 4 bars away, it's okay. Just move ahead. And on this one, would you say with CG2, with the Talkback role, Davis, that is listening to the click and being on the click as necessary as it was CG1?
No, I would say CG1, it's really crucial to be on the click. With CG2, the thing that you can really utilize click for is just making sure that you know when a song break is coming. So we still keep the blank slides in there. So sometimes I'll go through a blank slide just so they can see it flash for a second and realize that there's a break. But that's pretty much the only thing you're going to be able to utilize it for is an intro or an end of a song or knowing when there's an instrumental break and just helping the worship leader out by making sure that next lyric is up. But CG1 will really be the role that's more on the click. CG2 will be more ahead.
That makes a lot of sense. So now one of the other things that we utilize CG2 for in this Talkback role is to communicate to the host. Now, generally, we do that with clocks, which we'll get into in a moment. But sometimes the worst happens.
Doomsday.
Yes. So whenever the worst happens, we have to be prepared to communicate and let our hosts, to let our worship leaders know what's going on. And so you'll see down here in the video image bin that me and Davis have thrown in some very colorful, easy to recognize slides that we can throw up at a moment's notice. Now, if you notice that your video and image bin is not pulled up, you can get to it by either clicking this video image tab up here or by pressing Control V on your computer keyboard.
Pros use keyboard shortcuts.
Yes.
Just remember.
Exactly. So whenever we're doing this, let's say we are in the middle of a worship experience and all of a sudden you get word from your director or from your switcher that link is down. We have nothing on Living as One. We have nothing on the T2, whatever the case may be.
Oh, man.
This is after you go ahead and after you change your pants because you've messed yourself or whatever.
Everyone is panicking.
Right. What you will do, actually before you mess your pants, you're going to click the link down button, and you'll notice that the T2 or the CG2 slides lines are still over it. So we'll hit the clear slides button. But anyways, that's going to show link down, up link down. So that's going to immediately let everybody on the stage know, hey, link is down. I need you to stall for time. I need you to do something. As soon as we are back ready to go, we can say, uplink ready, throw live. Notice red means oh no, green means oh yes. So we want to just keep that stuff in mind. Now let's say that we have link down, so we have our host on stage killing time, and then we realize we're not getting link back up. It's time to go to a backup route. So what we can do is we can throw this blue slide right here that says throw to backup. This usually means that we are either pulling the Saturday Night file or we are maybe even pulling the Saturday Night file because we have a separate slide for the next thing. So let's say a Saturday Night file is not even working. Then we have plan C, which is throw to our backup sermon, which is, in this case, currently is Chosen Vessels, Frozen Oil. It may change depending on when you're watching this video. So this is like plan C. And then we move on to my personal favorite, which is what every host wants to see. You preach.
Which also means Andy's fired.
Yes. At this point, I'm fired. I'm actually already on my way back to Florida at this point.
Our whole team is hiding out in the parking lot because we know that when Matthew or Preston walks off stage, we're just all done for.
Yeah, I have put in my 2 weeks resignation before clicking this button. That's
Definitely.
how that works. So, anyways, if we have to go to this is what we're going to throw. We never want to go to this because we will always have some sort of backup option. But this is literally if everything else fails and we need this worship experience to happen, this is what we go to is you preach. So hopefully we'll never have to use any of those slides, but sometimes we might. So that's why they're there, and they're always going to be down here in the video image bin, ready for you to pull up at a moment's notice.
Easy access.
Right? That's right. And so, Davis, why don't you tell us a little bit about setting clocks and what that means for us?
Sweet. So setting clocks is also a very important role that CG2 is running. So I'm going to minimize Purpose Enter here so we can look at our live time interface. So live time is the app that we use to run all of our clocks at Elevation. It is extremely helpful, and it's been something that we've used for years and worked with this company. So they've been really beneficial for us. So we're going to walk through a couple of aspects of live time for setting clocks. You have a main time interface right here, which is actually what controls the main red numbers in the clock. We also have overlay controls, which we can use presets to update this text right here and change it to 2 minute or welcome or close or whatever we want to throw up there on the clock. And then we have auxiliary time up here, which will always just stay as our current time. That way we can see a normal clock and then our clock for a segment. This section down here we won't ever use. It's just an additional section that we don't utilize in lifetime. But this is our layout right here. Let's walk through a couple examples here. So if we wanted to set a welcome clock, I'll go ahead and reset this and just hide our overlay here. We'll change it to something else. So if we wanted to set a welcome clock, you can actually come in here down to presets. You can choose what title you would like to add for the segment. So we could say welcome or close or something like that. So we'll say welcome. You'll notice it won't actually change once you select it. You'll have to hit update for it to change. You could also type in whatever you would like and hit update, and that will work as well. The presets are just there to make it nice and easy so you don't have to type something every single time we set a clock. But that's all you'll have to do, and if you ever want to hide that for some reason, you can hit hide overlay, and it will just black out that section so there's nothing there. So to set a welcome clock, we could go over here to our main time and say our host is going to have a 3-minute welcome, so we'll type in 3:00 and not add an extra 0 there to give them 30 minutes. So let's redo that, 3:00, and you can hit set, and that will set your 3-minute clock. You'll also notice that this is counting down. You could change that to count up if you would like. However, that will be very rare that we'll ever do that. It'll always count down. And then there's a nice little handy dandy bounce function right here that we will always check for a welcome or close. The reason why is when that timer gets to 0, it will start counting up the other direction and let your host know how long they're over their clock. That way they know I went over by 30 seconds or something of that nature, and it gives everybody that information. If bounce is not selected, it will end right at 0 and hold there. So we don't want that for welcomes and closes. We'll always want to make sure it's bouncing. And then to start your clock, you can just hit start and it will count down. And if for any reason you want to hide it, you can just hit hide. It'll go away. And you can hit show. You'll notice it will keep counting if it's hidden. It just stays hidden on the screen itself. We could also say 3 o'clock and count to time. So the same thing, 3:00 and hit count to time. And it will show us, in this case it's 11:15 right now, so there's 3 hours, 44 minutes, and 35 seconds until 3 o'clock p.m. So we'll utilize this a lot when we count to 8 a.m. for run through, or 9:27 or 9:28 for the worship experience to start. So that's count to time versus actually 3:00 and hitting set, and that's a 3-minute clock. So those are really the two things we'll use a lot in live time. If for any reason we wanted to connect to the master clock, we don't use this very often anymore now that we do local programming, but if you wanted to, you could come up here and hit connect to clock, and once you're connected to VPN, which we're not right now, but if you did, you could connect to the EC master clock and hit connect. And that would tell you exactly where Valentine's at. Sometimes we'll use that for openers or things. We don't really use it much at all anymore, but that is how to connect to their clock and watch it if we wanted to on our end. So that's about everything that I know to cover with live time.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you can think of, Andy?
Oh, well, one clarification I just want to, that really helped me, is with the presets thing here. This doesn't have anything to do with the time or storing a time or a clock. This is only for the title that displays here.
Just the text.
Yeah, we would still have to set manually the time to count down.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, I feel really good with this Talkback roll on CG2. And if you guys made it this far in the video, just text Davis something really stupid. What should you tell him to text Davis? How about oh yes, because green means oh yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just text me oh yes. It'll be great. I'll receive it randomly one day.
Yeah, we won't be confused at all.
Yeah, totally.
So, all right, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in for this.
Thanks, y'all. See ya.